Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. A couple of things about this beatitude for me. I always think, well, if we could actually see God, that would sort a lot of things out, wouldn't it? The idea of a pure heart seems so unattainable to me. I mean, I know that for me, I'm not very pure. And so I think it's to do with something else rather than just like obeying a set of rules perfectly. Eugene Peterson says, you're blessed when you get your inside world, your heart and mind put right, because then you can see God on the outside world. So maybe it's about a divided heart, and maybe a pure heart is an undivided heart. So the idea of like true self and false self, what's going on the outside is different to what's going on the inside. And how do we get there? How do we unite that? And I think that it's about having our eyes remade for wonder again and falling in love with mystery and awe, kind of like a child.
Mercy stood on a hill and said, "The pure in heart are blessed." I dropped my head. The pure will see God, eyes down, see the ground, not God. Voices come as they always do. You can never do enough. You will never be enough. So I scrub and never come clean. My heart split the day I met shame. Wonder walked away as regret pulled up a chair. "We've come for tea," said shame and regret. They never left. So I shoved them deep and left them there, dancing around the stolen piece of my heart. Pride took my hand and I learned to be a different self. "Good show," said pride. I took the cup of rightness, of certainty and acceptance, and drank deep. And I advertised on Facebook, and my Insta story was a smash, and my tweet had enough retweets to make me crave more. Everybody's lonely friend. Surrounded by noise, afraid of the silence, forgetting to breathe, the selves kept apart at all costs. And it takes so much work. Strength exhausted, worlds fall apart. A divided house cannot stand. Friends, receive the gift of blow up and burnout, of failure and found out, the end of the rope, the end of yourself, the first next step. I can't remember exactly when, in a baby's cry, in a view from a hill, in the love between friends, a moment that transforms and transcends, the breath within the breath, the life within the death. When wonder said, "Would you look at that? Stop here for a minute. Let me hold you in this. Don't try too hard. Belong, because you already belong." Like a child, say yes. Believe wonder knows best. And when you show to the world what you've hidden inside, you are cheered and welcomed home. The fully alive you, the complete you, the complicated you, the troubled you, the messy you, the loved you, the beautiful, brilliant, belonging you. And with childlike eyes of wonder and a heart that's undivided, I'm beginning to see you.
No more fake personas. we come into the world as children, as toddlers, we reach out for belonging. And when you watch a toddler who's in a healthy family context understand his belonging, he switches from a tantrum to being happy and playing and not living in shame of the tantrum he just had, because he understands that he belongs. He doesn't question his sonship. He doesn't hustle for it. He's not trying to impress anyone. He hasn't learned that yet. He hasn't learned that he has to actually attain belonging through hustling and selling himself. That comes along later through all of our fear and isolation and shame. We learn to basically have separate lives. The one that I truly live inside myself that nobody sees, and the one that I present to people. When it came to approaching the song, I read the chapter that Stu sent me, which basically was verbatim the season that I'm in. There was so many themes and the paragraphs and the thoughts and the ideas and everything that he had been studying. By the time we got together to write the song, it felt like our hearts were just there, and the landscape was created for us to just explore what it would look like, and my heart was already there. I had literally come from England moments before and been in a clearing, walked through a forest into a clearing, and had this encounter, had this space with God, and laid there in the clearing and had this sense and this feeling that everything was changing in me because of this merging, this heart coming together, this heart made whole through belonging and connection and vulnerability.
So I come into the clearing to dance with perfect peace. It's safe here to unravel. It's safe here to be seen. So with all my imperfections, I will rise and I will shine. 'Cause I'm not afraid of shadows. Oh, and I love my holy light. Oh, no more fake personas, and no more false perceptions. When all you ever wanted was me. Oh, now with childlike eyes of wonder and a heart that's undivided, I'm beginning to see you.
I used to think I was more introverted than I am because it was easier to hide behind that and stay home than it was to be with people and perform and come home exhausted and feel less known than when I went out because I didn't let myself be seen. And I realized recently that it wasn't that I didn't like people, it's that I didn't like myself when I was with people, because I would have to come face to face with the fact that I was performing, putting on a really good show. So once that has been dealt with, I've been finding, there's so much love for humans. When you walk into a room understanding you're worthy of love, and that doesn't change based on anyone else's response, to me, that's when we all start actually coming together and find true freedom in ourselves, find true freedom in our belonging and belonging to the family, the greater good, the whole, the village.
Now we try